There are financial traps everywhere in 2026. Some of them look like opportunities. Some of them look like advice. And some of them have been disguised so well that millions of people fall into them every single day without even realizing it. The difference between those who build wealth and those who stay stuck is often not income. It is awareness. Knowing which systems are designed to keep you spending. Knowing which advice is actually serving someone else's interests, and knowing when the rules of the game have quietly changed. Today, we expose 5 money traps that are actively keeping people broke. And more importantly, we show you how to avoid every single one of them. Trap number 1, the subscription economy is draining you dry. In 2006, the average American had 1 or 2 recurring subscriptions, a gym membership, maybe cable television. In 2026, that number has exploded to over 15 active subscriptions per household. Streaming services, software, meal kits, fitness apps, cloud storage, music platforms, news outlets. Each one feels small. $9.99 here, $14.99 there. But add them up and the average household is now spending over $300 a month on subscriptions alone. That is $3,600 a year. Invested over 10 years at an average market return, that becomes over $50,000. The trap is psychological. Each subscription is priced just below the pain threshold. You barely notice any single charge. But the companies know exactly what they are doing. They count on you forgetting. They count on your inertia. The unsubscribe button exists, but the friction to use it is by design. The fix is simple but uncomfortable. Go through every recurring charge on your bank statement right now. Cancel everything you have not used in the last 30 days. You will be shocked at how much money reappears. Trap number 2, buy now, pay later is the new credit card debt. Services that let you split purchases into 4 payments have exploded in popularity. They market themselves as interest-free alternatives to credit cards, and technically they are. But the trap runs deeper than interest rates. These services fundamentally change your relationship with spending. When you split a $200 purchase into 4 payments of $50, your brain registers $50, not $200. Multiply this across 5 or 10 purchases, and suddenly you have hundreds of dollars in fragmented obligations that you are struggling to track. Research shows that people using these services spend 20 to 30% more than they would paying upfront. The companies know this. That is their business model. They profit from retailers who pay fees because these services increase the average order value. The rule is ancient, but it still holds. If you cannot afford to pay for it today in full, you cannot afford it. Period. Trap number 3, lifestyle inflation disguised as success. You get a raise and immediately upgrade your apartment. You get a bonus and buy a nicer car. Your income goes up by 20% and somehow your savings rate stays exactly the same. This is lifestyle inflation, and it is the silent killer of wealth building. The trap is that it feels earned. You worked hard. You deserve the upgrade. And that narrative keeps you spending every additional dollar you earn. The result is a life that looks progressively more successful while the bank account stays stubbornly flat. The wealthiest people in America do not live like their income suggests. Studies consistently show that the majority of millionaires drive modest cars, live in average neighborhoods, and keep their monthly expenses well below their means. They let the gap between income and spending grow wider with every raise instead of closing it. The next time your income increases, commit the additional amount to savings before you have the chance to spend it. Automate it. Remove the decision entirely. Your future self will thank you. Trap number 4. The financial literacy gap is costing you thousands. Most people were never taught how money actually works. Not in school, not at home, not anywhere. And that gap in knowledge is extraordinarily expensive. It shows up in the form of high-interest debt carried for years when it could have been consolidated. It shows up in savings accounts earning 0.5% while inflation runs at 3%. It shows up in retirement accounts with default allocations that underperform for decades. The financial industry benefits from your confusion. Complex products, hidden fees, and jargon-heavy language keep most people from asking the right questions. And if you do not ask the right questions, you pay the wrong prices. The fix does not require a finance degree. It requires 30 minutes a week of intentional learning. Read one article, watch one breakdown. Understand how compound interest works both for you and against you. Know what your expense ratio means. Know the difference between a Roth and a traditional account. These are not advanced concepts. They are basic tools that the wealthy use and that most people never pick up. Trap number 5. Waiting for the perfect moment to start investing. Every year, millions of people say the same thing. I will start investing when I have more money, when the market calms down, when I understand it better, when I pay off this one thing first. And every year, they lose the most valuable asset in all of finance: time. A 25-year-old who invests $200 a month will have over $500,000 by retirement, at average market returns. A 35-year-old investing the same amount will have roughly half that. The 10-year head start is worth more than doubling the monthly contribution later. The market will always feel uncertain. There will always be a reason to wait, but the data is clear. Time in the market beats timing the market, every single time, over every historical period, without exception. Start now. Start small if you have to, but start.
These 5 traps have one thing in common. They are all invisible to the person caught in them. Subscriptions feel harmless. Split payments feel smart. Lifestyle upgrades feel deserved. Financial confusion feels normal. And waiting feels responsible. But the cost of staying trapped is measured in decades of lost wealth. The good news is that awareness is the first step to breaking free. Now that you can see them, you can avoid them.